Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Overlord Lord of Nazarick video. Now, in this video, we have the new character, finally, the tank, the icy Cocytus, the man, the myth, the legend, dropped into the game. You need to summon him. He's not a skip. He's not like, I need to think about it or not. No, you need this character actually, if you have the currency, and he's not a premium character, but he's one of the best characters in the game by far, and especially for characters that you want to play with counter attacks, like if you have Brain, if you have Gagaran, or any character that in the future does counter. Even the normal Cocytus, he has a small counter base, a chance on himself. You can play him with them as well. Why am I talking so highly about this character, and how is this character gonna change the entire gameplay for you and force you into building a counter team? Because he's absolutely broken. This unit is busted. I thought they would change it from China. They will at least nerf him a little bit, but they didn't do that. Actually, they gave us him as is, and even more, a little bit buffed with with his numbers. I don't know if the numbers are correctly buffed or they just increase the chances, but he is absolutely insane. And you have Brain up banner, you have Gagaran also up on the banner, and you have Jugem. All of them does counter, or at least Jugem chases. Brain counters, Gagaran counters, and he counters. So Cocytus, the ruler of the ice battlefield. Let's go and read him, okay? He's absolutely fantastic. He has a leader skill. He has an Arclight for himself. We're gonna talk about everything else. But first of all, for people who are asking, does he stack his buff with his passive with his captain skill? Yes, he does that. So if you use him as a captain, when allies counter, all members recover 12% of the damage dealt as HP. Okay, that's bad translation, but they recover 12% as HP. This is huge for units that counters on your lineup. Now, his passive, you're gonna read at the start of the battle. Now, he heals Indomitable, which is a great function we're gonna talk about. It's invincibility as all, and counter. So, in the presence of Cocytus, when an ally counters an attack, they regain HP equal to 12% of the damage dealt by the counter attack, which is the captain skill, and it's his passive. So this is a 24% in your... So if you use him as a captain, that's a 12% that you can use, and his passive will allow him to do the same thing. Now, many were telling me, no, it's only 12%, it's not 24%. We're gonna test it some more, because what we checked is whenever you not use him as a captain leader skill, you don't get the 12%. You just get it from him as passive if you have him on the battlefield. This is how broken he is for counter teams as well. So, upon taking fatal hit, survives with 1 HP. That's for him, only for him, not for the entire team, okay? Gains Indomitable or Invincibility. Let's call it Invincibility from now on. For 1 round, this effect has a cooldown of 7 rounds for himself as only, not for the entire team, okay? Because the entire team, he can save them, but it's not for 7 turns, it's for 24 turns. So, at 4 stars, when HP regained by an ally from counter attack exceeds their max HP, 25% of their excess converted into a shield. So now, if you heal yourself with counter attacks, the extra heal will not go to waste. Or if you start early, if you start the attacks, it will not go to waste. You're gonna actually get it into HP, but you need him at 4 star. This is the pivotal point for yourself, is to get him at 4 stars so you can gain that shield. This shield is insane. Why? Because you will use it a lot. If you start first, you're gonna convert it into a shield. So if you're gonna get hit in the future, you're not gonna get a lot of damage to yourself. But if you're gonna go second, even if you got hit, you might go and counter them, and you're gonna excess your HP if you didn't get hit by a lot. Like if they start with Night Albedo, her AoE does not deal a lot of damage, and she hit you all, and you have a high chance to counter, so you can counter again and gain HP, and the HP you gain from the damage dealt, you might crit immediately and gain a shield and protect yourself from other units to hit you. So this is absolutely fantastic. This is the priority, get him to 4 star. If you can land him at 4 star, you're in safe hands. 6 star, when Cocytus is alive and in battle, an ally taking a fatal hit will instead survive with 1 HP and gain invincibility for 1 round. This effect occurs for every 24 rounds. Sadly, he's a very hard investment. You need to get him to 6 stars to get the survivability on everything on your lineup. Now, as free to play, should you go all in right now if you have all of your cards? No, go for 4 star, save your diamonds, and wait for Zeshi. Trust me, when Zeshi comes in, it will make up for all of these characters that are OP, because Zeshi has a different tier different than everybody else. Now, they are giving us the characters as in China. So I'll be trying to make a video for Zeshi before release, but try to save for Zeshi before you go all in for this guy. This guy, yeah, I highly recommend to go for 4-star for him. Absolutely phenomenal character. Now, his level 2 reduces the passive effect cooldown by 2 rounds. The passive effect cooldown by 2 rounds, which we mean it's for himself instead of 7 turns for 5 turns. The survivability, just like Valkyrie Shaltir, for 5 turns she revive herself, and after 5 turns, if you don't kill her again, she gonna go and revive herself one more time. Now increases the ally counter back HP equal to 21% of the damage dealt as a counter attack, which will make it even solid. Now I didn't speak about something. Now we spoke about leader skill, about the passive. Look at his stats: high HP, high defense, high magical defense, high speed. We don't care about his attack because he does damage according to his HP. So if he had 0 attack, he will still deal a lot of damage, by the way, because of his HP. And he goes to 193. He's not one of the best super speedy characters in the game, but he's definitely the highest speed tank in the game, which is absolutely phenomenal. And he has high defense, high magical defense, which is so much appreciated, and he's basically high on HP. 3A, 1S, this is absolutely great. Now his first skill. He deals damage equal to 50% of his attack. We don't care about this at all. Plus 6% of HP, which is the one that we care about actually. So build him on HP. He's not a defense character. He's not a magical defense character. He already have them in himself. You build him on speed and HP, and that's it. ER, speed, HP. ER, speed, HP. Not even EP. ER, speed, and HP, and that's it. Deals damage, okay, here. Deals damage equal to 50% plus 9% of HP. A hit has a 50% basic chance to dispel one buff from the enemy. So if your enemy has a buff, somebody, let me tell you like who, like somebody that is super annoying, like normal Shaltir, when she get the buff of not getting any debuff or affected by debuffs, you can strip that from her. Or if you're gonna go and fight Yuri and she have the assist buff, you can dispel that from her and she can't assist anymore, or she can't support anymore, so you can bypass that. And it goes to 10% of HP. This is why you build him on HP. He has the highest HP pool by far in the game. Now this is basic. This is 8,000 HP on basic without even upgrading that. Now if you get him to 6 stars and on level 100, it's go to 17,000 HP, which is huge. His second skill, also a decent skill, we're gonna be talking about it. Deals damage equal to 60% of attack plus 8% of HP, which is good. Using the skill grants God Slayer to the ally with the highest attack for 2 rounds. Now what God Slayer is, deals true damage equal to Cocytus missing HP, which is absolutely huge. So 500 of his HP plus 10% of his missing HP, which is huge, to be honest. 500 is normal, always will be there. So 500 of Cocytus HP plus the 10 missing percent of HP when the buff is applied. And it's only for 4 rounds, so or 4 triggers. It's not 4 rounds. You trigger it 4 times and that's it. So his C2 is absolutely huge. You need to use it. It's absolutely completely, it's a God Slayer. It's called God Slayer, okay? So it's really good. Using this skill gets 2 allies actually God Slayer with the highest attack, not only 1 at this time. So if you're playing some lineup with, let's say, Momon and Brain and him, he will buff Momon and Brain and you absolutely wipe the floor with your enemies. Gagaran has low speed, so Gagaran is part of the comp. Gagaran is trash unless this unit got released. Now Gagaran is in the higher tier with Brain. You'll absolutely use her there. The ultimate, and what an ultimate we have here. So it's a shield and there's a shield wall. We're gonna talk about how important shield wall is. Now he can be countered by something like first black the first. He can go and remove or negate the effects of shield wall. Not the effects, but negate the taunting effect of the shield wall. Now, consumes 15% of Cocytus max HP, retaining at least 1 HP. So even if you're at 15% HP, or you're at 10% HP or whatever it is, you're gonna consume 15%. Let's say it goes you to 0. No, you're at least gonna stand with 1 HP. If you have a healer, he will heal, or if he counters, he gonna heal. Grants armored shield or armed shield to all allies for 2 rounds. This is insane. A buff that increases counter rate and counter damage by 20% and can absorb a certain amount of damage according to his attack or according to his HP. The shield wall is according, or the armed wall is according to his HP, which is huge. For 2 rounds, you're not gonna only just, so if you have Brain on your team will do more counter by default. And when he uses his ultimate, he's gonna apply shield on your lineup and give you more counter rate and more counter damage as well, which is huge, to be honest. Using this skill gains 8 stacks of shield wall for 1 round. For 1 round, only 1 round. So he can taunt for 1 round and gives him shield wall. It means you'll be forced to attack him until you kill the shield wall. So a debuff that forces enemies to target characters with shield wall first when they attack, which is huge, okay? Now 5 stars, dispels 1 debuff from all allies right before the ultimate or the shields is used. Sacrifice HP to increase the value of the armed shield by 20%. This is huge. So he removes also 20% of his HP to give you that shield, and the shield will be thicker because it's based on his HP, which is perfect. Plus he will purify you. He will remove debuffs. He will remove 1 debuff at least. Just like what PDL does with his shield, he does it with himself. The shield of PDL is absolutely broken, but this one is also good because he gives it for all allies. You might play him with Bedo. You mean him, Knight Albedo, Brain, and Gagaran. You don't need even a healer, but all of them, like, they taunt, they shield. Yeah, it's a massive W team. I think it's a team that absolutely is crazy. So at level 2, while in shield wall, has a 100% chance of countering attacks targeting him, dealing true damage equal to 10% of missing HP. This is good. This is good. So counter attack, gain damage, and true damage. 10% of his missing HP. The lower he go on HP, so if he's on 10% HP and he has a shield wall, he counters attack, deals true damage equal to 10% of the missing HP. 10% of his 90% of HP is insane, okay? He might be a good damage dealer, actually. We will test a lot of things so we can understand how he goes or what does he do. So channels 17.5 of max HP into armored shield, channels 20% of max HP into armored shield. Now, this armed shield is at level 4, 20%, you give it to all allies, and if you have him at 5 stars, he goes also and give you 20% more HP. So keep that in mind. It's not only 20% because it says here 20%. It goes up to 40%. Your shield will be thick. Nobody can kill you actually with it. And including himself, he gives himself as well shield, not only your allies. The cooldown goes for -1. It's 3 rounds, so it goes to 2 rounds. I think this is how I would play this lineup. I would play Cocytus, Brain, Gagaran, and I will play Pistonia with them. Absolutely silence units, put shield wall, force units to hit him. We counter, we shield ourselves, we overheal, we heal, and we silence with Pistonia, and we counter attack with everybody, and we reduce damage by Gagaran, we reduce attack by Brain. Absolutely insane lineup. I would play it that way. This is my preferred lineup actually to play. Now, of course, you can play him with Mari. Mari can be played on any lineup, but I wouldn't play Mari on this lineup. I would play somebody as a healer because it will sustain you more. Now, you may say, we don't need a healer because we counter attack and we gain HP. I get it, but you need something to control, something to silence, something. Pistonia is perfect with this, and she refreshes his shields. She refreshes his ultimate. She refreshes something because she reduces the cooldown with her ultimate, which is absolutely fantastic. You don't need to put Renner on this team. Absolutely, he's high on speed. You can be he can be the speedy demon on your team, or you can play another speedy demon if you have it on the lineup. Anybody else, but I would prepare or I would put Renner on a different lineup and him on a different lineup. People will be confused. Should we ban him for their counter team not to kill us, or should we ban Renner for the speed? If they ban Renner, you play Cocytus with your counter team, you destroy them. No lineup can stand in front of them if you build them correctly with the good sets. And if they don't build that, they're gonna keep your Renner, so you have your one-shot team with Evil Eye and Renner already ready on the side. So it's a huge thing for PvP players, and in PvE he helps a lot as well. So let's read his Arclight. So his Arclight, worthy of respect. The EX for him, and as you see, he gains a lot of HP. Increases counter rate by 20%. This is for himself. Counter grants a 20% chance to reduce a random skill cooldown up to once per 2 rounds. We talked about it yesterday, so this is huge for him. We don't care about the increasing of counter rate for him. He already has a high counter rate. but it grants him 20% chance to reduce the cooldown of his skills. Now, as I said, if you play Pistonia, you will reduce your skills again. Great, great. And the best set for him, I will show you what's the best set for him. Now, general effect grants 60% fixed chance to recover 5% of max HP when taking damage, and triggers one per action at most, which is, we said Fearless is the best one. If you want to use something for this effect, use Fearless. Fearless is absolutely huge. Now, what's his best set? We talked about his best lineup. We talked about everything. What's the best set for him? If we're going to go to exchange, this is the absolutely, or the exchange, yep. This is absolutely the best set for him. Red Dragon set. First of all, it gives you 50% of maximum HP, which means he's a built unit on HP. Second of all, you get a 20% chance to remove whenever you get hit, and he will have shield wall, so he will force units to hit him, and the 20% chance to reduce the cooldown of one skill, which will allow you to use your second skill and buff your units. Give them, or if you build them up, or if you level up the skill to level 5, you're gonna buff 2 units instead of 1 and make them deal more damage. Plus, it's built on HP, which is absolutely huge. Just smack on it some ER, maybe substats, HP as well, maybe a little bit of defense, maybe a little bit of let's say magical defense, and you'll be absolutely ready to rumble. Now, another set that you can play as well on him, which is, again, I don't highly recommend it, but it works as well, which is the Alchemy set. It gives him 15% maximum HP as well, buffs the highest target with attack. If you don't have any buffers for attack, this could be a great set. This is, in general, an overall good set for anybody to play it on one line. You need every lineup to have an Alchemy set at least. It buffs the highest attacker with attack, it buffs the highest defense character with defense, and it will keep you in a good shape in buffing, in min-maxing your buffing to the highest defense and to the highest attack, and it will allow you to roll over with your lineup. These are the best sets that I would say for him. Now, of course, you can play him on defense, you can play him on the Barbarian set, or I don't know, I think they call it Sterling set here, and it increases his defense by 7.5 and it applies it to the entire lineup, which is good actually. 75%, I think, apply 5% boost according to himself to the entire lineup, which his defense is high, not that bad, so you can play this one as well on him. And yeah, that's basically for Cocytus. Am I gonna summon for him? Absolutely, I'm gonna try to summon for him, but because I got shafted on Runner and I'm guaranteed on 40 pulls to get Runner, there's still 3 days and there's 6 days here, so I'm gonna try to summon for her. And actually, I want to do a multi here for Runner. How much is this? 10? Okay, let's do 10. Maybe we get a Runner now and we're gonna go and summon for Cocytus soon. Come on, quickly. Okay, nothing. Okay, that was it for the video. Let me know in the comment section about your what do you think about Cocytus? Are you gonna summon for him? Are you gonna play the counter team, or it's not worth it for you, or you already built other teams? As you see, for myself, I already have Brain built. Okay, so my counter team is ready, and I'm playing Aura with him on a counter team because she chases, he counters, absolutely looks nice. I have Nigun already built with his angel that counters and chases as well. So I think I need the tank. I need him for this lineup. Now I have different tanks that I can play on that lineup, like Albedo. Knight Albedo works perfectly with them, but he is really super helpful for that lineup. So I'm gonna try my best to summon for him, and I wish you all the luck with your summons, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.